This is the most controversial song of 2024. Rachel Holt, I Was Gonna Be, talks about a very sensitive topic surrounding reproductive rights for women, abortion. We have not seen it yet, but we want to give you guys our unfiltered reaction. What's up, David?
What's up? This is gonna get very spicy. I'm excited for this. I have not seen it yet.
All right, let's get it.
Some don't believe I'm a living soul, just a bad mistake that needs to go. If my mama could have just seen my face, maybe she would have had me anyway.
Wow.
And there are those who speak for me, fight for lives that they can't see. But there are some who only mourn this life of mine if I were born.
Do you think she's talking about her own story? Do you think that she was
I think
gonna be
she's
aborted?
talking from the perspective of if a fetus could talk. If a little
Do you
baby
think she's
in the womb.
talking about herself, though? She was going to be...
I don't know. I kind of want to do some research after this on her. But this is heavy because I'm a father. Yeah. My wife is pregnant. In October, I'll have my second child.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, even though you've known for a very long time. And this is a very sensitive subject for me because I know what it's like to have a child and to see the joy in my 4.5-year-old girl's face every time she sees me. Today, she was cooking breakfast or doing something with my mom. We were over at their place, and she just looked over at me and she said, "Daddy, I love you."
Oh,
she's just like, "Daddy, I love you. I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna keep you safe."
She said that?
She said that, and she's 4.5.
Wow.
And to see the innocence of that child and the beauty and just this world is so open to her. And I can never imagine what would have happened if she had been a child that was, ended her life.
In the first verse, towards the end, it says, "If my mama could have just seen my face, then maybe she would have had me anyway."
It's because people dehumanize a fetus or a baby in a womb. They dehumanize them and don't see them as actual people. Yeah. So it's easy just to cast them aside.
Clump of cells.
But if you saw that baby come out of your womb, because I saw when my first child was born, and you hold that little child and you actually see who they are and the life that's come, you see it in a whole different way because it's not just the woman's body, it's a living thing. But let's keep going. I want to see what else she has to say.
And all I wanted was a chance to learn to love and laugh and dance. Oh, but I was gone before I arrived, sent back to heaven on a starlight flight.
I love her voice.
Yeah, I was gonna change the world. I was gonna be a girl. First thing I was gonna do was breathe and fall in love with you. But a couple of weeks before I saw the light, mine flickered out when you changed your mind. And all I wanted was a chance to learn to love and laugh and dance. Oh, but I was gone before I arrived, sent back to heaven on a starlight flight. I was gonna have some pretty curls. I was gonna be a girl. I'm more than just someone that stands or some burden that you think I am. And there ain't no man who's ever be what I was gonna be. Some don't believe I'm a living soul, just a bad mistake that needs to go.
Isn't it crazy that this is probably the most controversial song of this year?
I don't know why. I mean, it's the right to life. When you have a fetus in your belly, and that I love the visuals that she talked about, the flickering light when she said, I was going to have some pretty curls and I was going to be a girl. Then she also said, but a couple of weeks before I saw the light, mine flickered out when you changed your mind. The very end as well, she said, some don't believe I'm a living soul, just a bad mistake that needs to go. And that is, especially for me, because I want to be a father someday. I'm not yet. But when that moment comes and I see my child for the first time and I get to look into her eyes, and there is a spiritual moment that happens I've heard that when you look into your child's eyes.
It's the greatest moment of your life.
And for me, I dream about that sometimes, and I think about, okay, what does that child see when they look into my eyes? What kind of reflection do they see, and what kind of father will I be? I'm not trying to be Dr. Seuss here, but that song really hits home with me, because I understand that we are such a polarized nation right now, and the vast majority of Americans that are polled actually believe in abortion up to a certain time frame.
That's why even Trump
is one thing I disagree with. He's become very soft on abortion.
That's because he knew he wouldn't get elected if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because if it was if he said absolutely nothing, he wouldn't have got elected. So he's trying to find a middle ground, which I respect to an extent.
I don't.
But it's tough.
I can't respect that, because when you
Democrats would always win the election, so it's tough. At any point
since conception, scientifically, it's proven that you are killing a human life.
They go through such torture in the womb when that happens.
Yeah.
They have to pull limb by limb. This is not just put them to sleep. In order for that to happen, they have to literally rip them.
Yeah.
And that made me emotional, because I am a father, and so all those little clips of showing a little toothbrush, of showing them drawing, the little drawing board, and then showing it vanishing. I've experienced all of those different things. My wife has even had a miscarriage, so I know the pain to an extent of what it feels like to lose a child. And it's such a beautiful thing. I don't understand why people are all about the women. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, we love you women, and I respect women wholeheartedly, but this is not something that they should just get to choose to get rid of, because you are literally destroying the life. And all of the different political figures from Kamala, all the Democratic side, they're talking about how this is a threat to democracy. This is a threat to women's rights. That you shouldn't be able to tell them what to do. All this other stuff, but then they also want big government, and they want the government to pretty much control what you're able to do to an extent. And so there's just this hypocrisy, and I really want you guys to think about it. I've even had friends that say, I just don't want kids. I don't want kids. I refuse to ever have kids. I'm like, dude, your life is going to mean nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go, unless you're going around the world and saving people from poverty and doing all this stuff. Yes, that could be a very valuable life. Yeah. But if you're just in the business world not wanting to have kids, it's a very tragic way to live. And I give Rachel Holt a lot of respect, because
she's brave.
She's extremely brave, and in such a beautiful song, shared the perspective of a fetus, of a little baby.
Yeah, I've never heard of a song that is from the perspective of the unborn.
No, I've never seen that, because she's sharing that. And I've known people, I've had friends, and there's even a lot of famous people that said their mother tried to abort them, but it wasn't effective, and so therefore they were stillborn. Mm-hmm. And they ended up changing the world, or having such a massive impact. And so something that's always kind of hit me wrong is, since we've lost there's been 40, how many millions of abortions? You can look up the stats.
Yeah, so averaging, there's about 600 since 2019. 2019 it was 925,000 abortions. and
In the U.S.
in the U.S. alone. This year, it's been up to 650,000. So
already. And people don't think about everything. And that's the biggest problem I have is people only think about very small things, how it's going to impact that one woman. Everyone's complaining about how crazy our world is and how messed up people are and all this stuff. Could you imagine if those children were if they were alive today, the impact they could actually have?
Yeah.
Imagine if Einstein or Edison or one of those people that truly made history was actually aborted.
I believe personally that Satan knows that if you can attack the unborn life, then you can kill a country, or you can even kill a society. Because people always, especially on the left, they make the decision or the argument that what about the life of the mother, either incest or rape? That's less than 1% of all abortions, and a majority of the abortions in this country are after the second trimester.
Exactly.
Like between the second and third trimester.
And if the mother if it's a life or death thing, I say save the mother.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, I don't want my wife to die so that our baby in her womb can be born. No.
Yeah.
So yes, in that situation, you might have to terminate
That's
the
a
life.
tough decision.
But that's such a small. That might be like 1 out of 1,000, 2,000 women, maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
But I'm throwing out a number, even though it's not
14.4 women out of 1,000 women in America have an abortion.
14 out of 1,000.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, guys, this is obviously it's a different kind of video than what we've normally been doing, but I encourage you guys to go and do your own research. We will provide the article that we use for some of our research in the comments below or in the description, and you guys can find out for yourself. But guys, this is a very, very important topic, especially going into an election. Who are you representing? Who are you voting for? That ascribe to your personal values. And we believe personally, we're pro-life completely. And we believe that there is something going on in this nation that is trying to attack the nuclear family. And we created this channel to stand up and be a voice for the voiceless, people that don't have the courage to start their own channel or don't want to speak about it out loud. We're not afraid, and we will do it.
They showed that during the election or the last couple debates, the number one issue for the left, for the Democrats, is reproductive rights.
It's crazy.
It's more than anything else, the right to end a life.
It's crazy.
So just think about that. But we love you guys. We're the Wilson Brothers. We'll see you on the next video. Think about this and let us know what you think below. Peace.
Peace.